Hi, this is Lauren Cheek from Lornicopia. We're going to talk about the presidential impeachment. How likely is it, and how likely is it that it will pass through? I'll give you some simple explanations because I've studied up on it this week after me and my brother had a conversation about it. Let me turn around and show you how impeachment works. Impeachment is a process whereby the government can call into check the president of the United States or remove him from office. The president, in turn, balances out the other house. He has the power of veto. He has the power of veto in the Senate. The Senate and the House balance each other. The House kind of answers to the Senate, but has powers of its own that are separate from the Senate. Senators serve. I'm going to turn the thing around so you can see it. At the top, this is your U.S. Senate. There are 100 members, as you see right here. This is from Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia. And this actually shows the layout as far as Republican and Democrat. Democrat is blue and Republican is red. And you get to elect every 6 years in alternating terms 2 senators for each state. That's why there are 100. And this is called the upper, they're the upper branch of the Congress. Okay, so this is the House, and the House is the committee of congressmen. Yeah, House of Representatives. They're people we elect every 2 years alternately, and there are 435, and they come from various districts, and they are supposed to comprise the population in each state, and that's why there's a different amount than the senators. You get 2 senators for each state. You get like a variety of representatives depending on what the population in your state is. Okay, so that's this. This is the group right here, as you see, which has a Democratic majority over a Republican and 2 independents hiding in there. That is proceeding with impeachment investigations against Trump. And the impeachment investigation was based upon him strong-arming potentially a foreign government and withholding U.S. funds, which are not his to withhold. They are actually ours, the people, that were used to help and benefit foreign countries. We have many programs like that where we give foreign aid. So anyway, that's the crux of basically what this whole impeachment proceeding is about. There are a lot of things that people have said, we should impeach the president before, but they weren't considered to be far-reaching enough to actually be grounds to potentially move him from office. Now, let me tell you this. There are 3 people that have been presidents, now Donald Trump being number 3, who were impeached while in office. One was Bill Clinton. The other one was Andrew Johnson, and now it is Donald Trump, or potentially Donald Trump. We don't know if it will go through or not, or if they'll put it together. It sounds like they will. Anyway, in all other 2 cases, the president was not removed from office. In Andrew Johnson's term, you have to read up on this. It's a very fascinating thing. He was anti the 14th Amendment, 13th Amendment, the end of slavery, the Emancipation Proclamation. He did not withdraw from his governmental seat when his state withdrew from the Union. And that is why Lincoln, in the period after the Civil War, chose him as his vice president. He wanted to show a little bit of solidarity when trying to reunify the nation, although they didn't agree exactly on their ideals. So anyway, long story short, he was an incredible politician. He served in numerous different state and U.S. government positions, including the presidency by default because Lincoln was assassinated. But he overreached his office many, many times and violated limits that were put on him by the Senate and by the Congress in general. And they impeached him on 10 counts. And they all ended up being, at the end of the whole process, considered not serious enough to remove him from office. And they way exceeded what Trump has done, although what Trump has done is definitely worthy of impeachment, if he did it. So there's number one. Number two was Clinton. Clinton was involved in the Whitewater scandal, and a subtext of that was his sexual harassment claims from certain women that he apparently had paid off over time. And ultimately, what they decided, that despite the fact that he lied under oath while in office and his presidential conduct was unseemly, it was not enough to disrupt the government of the United States. And that's what I think will happen with Trump. Okay, so what's got to happen here for Trump to actually be impeached or to be removed from office? First of all, you have to look at these governments. This House membership already has the majority of Democrats who are anti-Trump, who will probably proceed with the inquiry into his impeachment. But in the Senate, you have a majority of people that are probably loyal to Donald Trump. And therefore, it will be hard to even get this past that next level to be researched into or tried. And then it would have to be a very unusual instance of a lot of these people here on the Republican side feeling that he had overstepped his bounds so far that he needed to be removed from office, or that he was incapable of doing his job. And that is highly unlikely. So that's what I'm saying to you. If it gets to this level, even if he's legitimately impeached, the fact that he would be removed from office is unlikely based upon the past history, and especially under the circumstance of the enormities of violations of power that were happening with Andrew Johnson that still didn't get him removed from office. So that's my 2 cents worth on the subject. But it is a fascinating time, and I find it interesting. It made me study up more. And if anything, this should make you more political, because if you look at these guys that have been hired and elected, these 100 people were chosen by people like me who vote. If you do not vote, your government is being run by people that you let somebody else choose for you, which would be me and other conscientious voters. Same thing in the House, same thing with the president. So please vote, and please try to form a legitimate opinion and study a little bit. You don't have to be a political savant to understand how this works. But anyway, so that's my thing, my opinion about the impeachment. I think it would be hard to get it to go to the Senate, first of all, because they're Republicans and Trump is their candidate, and their next candidate probably for president. Also, if they were sympathetic, it would be unlikely, even if they found him guilty of this charge, that it would be egregious enough to remove him from office. So essentially, it's going to be a merry-go-round and a media circus if it gets that far. The outcome just being that we spend a lot of money investigating what might be true anyway, but is not considered enough of a overstep to remove the president from office, because that would be hugely disruptive to our government. And I'm not a Trump fan, and I did not vote for him, but this is logic, and this is the way government works, and maybe it'll turn out different. But that's just my 2 cents. Lauren Cheek from Lornacopia. Thank you for watching.